that reminds me of some of the things that I do with my guys early on. Like, because one of the most common causes of relapse that I've seen are people remaining in situations that are harmful to their growth. And one of those things is like being in a negative relationship, right? And I know for me, like with my ex-wife, there was so much dysfunction there because we used together, we would fight, I would leave, we would both come down a little bit, we would talk, I would go back, we would use together, we would fight,
right.
I would leave. And that's a real common pattern in dysfunctional relationships, right? And I didn't get married to get divorced. Like, I married her because I loved her and I thought it was a good thing, but I didn't have the right intentions behind it in the first place. Like there was some real primal urges behind it, because she was really attractive. So right off the rip, I'm getting into this relationship over some selfish behaviors, right? Like, I'm thinking of me.
Right.
I'm going against some warning signs that I already know, that I can see, these red flags that I'm like pushing to the side, which is another pattern of mine, right? And I get into this relationship anyway, and we start this cycle of abuse with each other, right? And until I was able to get out of that, I wasn't able to stop that cycle. And that's one of the things that I think we have to do in order to break the cycle is like get some of these triggers and get some of these people and some of these negative situations out of our lives. And it's not always easy, especially when you're like home, like you have to stay in this place or you're going to be homeless.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that's where a lot of people find themselves.
Yeah. Or if I leave my wife, what about my kids?
Right. The kids.
I can't stay in this. I can't leave this job. What'll happen to my insurance?
Right.
And so it's such a crazy thing when you ask yourself, like, what lengths are you willing to go?
Yeah.
What lengths am I willing to go in order to have a better quality of life? Mm-hmm. What am I willing to do? And some of those answers are really, really hard. And that's what I think is so beautiful about the recovery movement that we have, especially on this platform and in person, is that there's so much support. And whatever your story is, somebody's been through it.
Right.
Somebody's made the decision to leave a bad relationship or, quit that job or move out of that house or whatever the case is that you think may be holding you back. But getting to the point where you're willing to do that stuff comes only through a lot of pain, right? And so in order to cut those new neural pathways, right, comes repetition. Just like repeating the pattern that you're in, repeating the solution that you need is twice as important.